Hello everyone, hope you're alright. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to grow coleus plants from seeds and how to collect coleus seeds and how to take care of coleus plants outdoors and indoors. So these are my coleus plants which I bought last year from shop. These are 3 plants in this container and I had this container outside in my garden. I enjoyed these coleus plants outside in my garden all summer long in a shady part of my garden, and you can see these are really beautiful plants. They have really nice beautiful leaves with different patterns like pink, green, with purple dots, and really beautiful and eye-catching plant. So normally coleus is grown for their beautiful colored foliage, and there are different varieties which have different colors and beautiful patterns, so they look absolutely stunning in garden, and they are really easy to grow and maintain in a shady garden. So I had this planter in my garden, and now it's October time. I have brought it inside because it's getting really cold outside, so it can't survive the winter. This is a warm climate plant, so it needs a spot which is bright and warm but not direct sunlight. So if you put them in direct sunlight, the leaf color will fade and they won't look as good as they look in shade. So they like shade, but they are warm climate plants and they can be grown as house plants. So you can bring them inside in winter and you can keep them in a sunny windowsill where they receive indirect bright sunlight, and they will look absolutely beautiful and they will survive the winter, and then you can take them outside again next year when it's nice and warm outside. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to collect some seeds from these plants. As you can see the seed heads on these plants. So normally people pinch the flower stalks off. They don't like the flower stalks, so they grow them for their beautiful foliage. Foliage is absolutely stunning, but I do like the flower stalks as well. They have like these small purple flowers along the flower stalk, which I think is beautiful, so I let them go, and now they are turning into seed pods and I can see some seeds scattered around this plant. So I thought, why not collect the seeds and try to sow some more coleus plants for next year. So I'm going to collect my seeds from this plant and I will keep them inside in this windowsill during the winter, and then next year I can take them outside. But I'm not really a huge house plant lover, so I have only few house plants in my house. Basically I have young kids and I don't like the pests coming in my house, so I don't normally grow many house plants. I have just a few of them, and I only bring a plant inside my house if I have to. So if I can grow it fresh next year from seeds, I think I would prefer it that way, rather than overwintering in my house. So I'll see what I do, but here I'm going to collect the seeds. So this is after a few weeks and you can see all the flower stalks have turned into seed pods now, and it is really easy to collect these seeds. Basically you take the flower stalk off and shake it in your bowl. You can use a white ball so you can see the seeds clearly. Seeds are really tiny and small. They are black seeds, and if you shake it in the ball, you will see tiny black seeds falling in your bowl. So this is really easy to collect, and there's some debris as well which you can blow off later once you have collected your seeds. So I'm going to collect as many seeds as possible from these plants, and then I will save them and store them for next year, and I can start them indoors in March next year because they need warm place to germinate. So here I'm going to collect all my seeds and then I'll show you later what I do with them. So here I am back after a few months. This is the April 2021, and I'm going to sow my coleus seeds which I collected last year in October. So here I have got a recycling plastic pot, and I'm going to fill it with multi-purpose compost which is nice and loose, and basically seed sowing is really easy. The seeds are really tiny, so we just spread them on the top of the soil surface and then cover them lightly with soil, pressing them so they are in contact with the soil, and then water them afterwards and keep them moist and warm. So here are my seeds which I collected last year, and I removed as much debris as possible and I kept them in this jar which has airtight lid. And now I brought them outside to sow my seeds, but unfortunately the wind blew it off and some of the seeds fell on the floor. So I'm going to sprinkle all the seeds on the surface of the soil and then cover them lightly with the soil. So with regards to my coleus plants which I overwintered in my house, I kept them in my house during the winter and then I brought them outside in March in my greenhouse. But we have had really cold spring this year. In fact, we have had a couple of snowstorms in March and the greenhouse couldn't keep them warm enough so they could survive. So unfortunately those plants died, but I have got these seeds. So let's see how they germinate and how many plants I can get. So I'm back in May after a couple of months, and you can see my coleus plants have grown nice and big. There are so many plants in that tray, so I need to separate them, and I'm going to plant containers with these coleus plants and some sweet pea plants which I have sown the seeds, and I have got geraniums which I overwintered from cuttings, and some petunia plants which I started from seed, and some scabious plants. So here I have got some sweet pea plants which I put in a kitchen towel and wet it and put it in this jar. So this is another method of sowing your sweet pea seeds. You can sow them directly in the place where you want them to grow. You can start them indoors or you can start them this way as well. Here are my scabious plants which I started from seed. One of them is quite big and the others are a bit small. These are my geranium plants which I started from cuttings and overwintered, and some petunia plants which I started from seed. So I'm going to plant all these in this big container. So I have got this really big and beautiful terracotta pot which I bought recently, and there are two of them. So I have placed them along my arch, one on each side, and I have filled them with multi-purpose compost. So I'm going to sow these plants in this arch, and I will sow the sweet pea seeds towards the edge where the arch is, with the idea so I can try to train them along the arch. So here are my sweet pea seeds which I have germinated in this jar. So I sowed them a couple of weeks ago and they are ready to go. So I'm going to place them towards the edge where the arch is, and just centimeter down the soil surface, so they will germinate quick and be ready to take off. So I'm going to plant my scabious plants in the middle as a central plant because scabious can grow really tall. So I have got 6 of them and I'm going to plant 3 of them in each container. So I'm going to plant them in the center and then I will plant my coleus around it as a filler plant, and my petunia plants around the edges as pillar plants because they are trailing petunias. So with the idea that scabious will grow nice and tall, and the coleus will fill around them and the petunias will spill around them. So here I have done planting all my plants in this container. So here I have got scabious in the middle as central plant, and I also had geranium plants, which I forgot to talk about earlier. So I had two geranium plants, so I planted one in each container on one side, so it will give some height to the container as well. And this produced red flowers, so it will complement with the reddish pink foliage of the coleus really well. And I planted coleus as a drift in the middle. So as you can see, these coleus plants are really nice and big. I didn't separate all of them individually. I just broke the tray into 6 big clumps and planted 3 clumps in each container, and they are looking really nice. And the petunias are small at the moment, but soon they will catch up and they will grow big and trail out of the container, and so as the other plants. So overall, I'm happy with how both containers are looking, and I'm really happy with the coleus plants which I grew from seeds, which I collected myself. So this video is basically about growing coleus from seeds, which you can collect yourself if you can let them flower and go to seed pods. Seed collecting process is really easy, and then you can store them in an airtight container in a cool cupboard, and then you can sow them in March or April in a sunny windowsill, and they germinate really fast, and you can keep them in warm bright place until it's warm enough for them to go outside in container or in the garden. They look absolutely beautiful, and you can plant them on their own in a single container. They would look really gorgeous, or you can mix them with other plants like I have done here as a filler plant, and they look absolutely beautiful. So I really like to grow coleus, and I think they are really easy to grow from seeds. You can also overwinter them inside your house as a house plant, which I failed at the end because I thought it would be warm enough now for them to go outside, but then we had snowstorms. So things don't always work out as per plan, but I'm happy that I collected my seeds, and now I have got more plants for free. And there are also many other varieties which you can buy seeds for, and you can grow them as filler plants in your garden. They look absolutely beautiful in containers or in borders. So I will highly recommend that you do try growing coleus from seeds. And if you would like further updates, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my gardening videos. Thank you very much for watching today. See you next time. Bye.